Stephen, earlier you mentioned that some of the companies you talk to, they told you that if it's not Bursa required, they don't want to pay for it. How can we go beyond just compliance? What kind of actions can be implemented and convince the manufacturers to go beyond compliance only?
Okay. Now, what is compliance? Compliance here doesn't mean compliant to actually the requirements that Bursa has set. Compliance here means produce a report, don't care what is the content. Okay, so I need to also clarify what they mean by compliance. This come out, even some of the data is missing from that report required by Bursa, they don't care. So as long as they submit the report, some sort of a report. Now, a lot of companies, especially the smallest ones, they are in that mindset. They say that, okay, I want to do that ESG report required by Bursa, but I only want to pay 10,000. Come on, seriously, 10,000 will not give you anything. Maybe 5 pages of report, general data, right? But this is the mindset of a lot of companies, and these are public listed companies, right? Now, the thing here is, if you want to go beyond that, then you really need to look at how the steps goes, right? Okay. Now, when we look at the general market, actually, it has been proven that companies that actually do sustainability can generate positive returns, right? For example, if you are now, we have to look into, I said, the bigger picture. Now, when your customer asks you to declare what is your carbon footprint, right? That is because in many cases your carbon is also absorbed by your stakeholder, right? Let's say if you are familiar under scope 3, there is this purchase of goods and services. So if you are giving a service to your client, then the client will actually report your output of the carbon into their own, right? So if they find that suddenly, wow, your carbon emissions is very high, they will then tell you, please reduce it, or they will seriously look for someone to replace you. Okay, so there is this effect, right? So first and foremost, you need to look into this, right? There are many questions that you need to ask from the lens of sustainability. If you want to hire a new supplier, then you must ask questions: are you sustainable? In many cases, public companies are required to do sustainability assessment in your environment, in their environmental impact as well as their social impact, right? Now, companies, what are the benefits? Number one, this is a lot of people overlook, is access to premium customers, not just at the B2B level, but also B2C. I have to always preface this by saying that unfortunately our retail market has not caught up, right? If you are supplying, let's say, like Nike, they had a huge problem. Why? Because it was reported they used forced labor by one of their Vietnamese manufacturer, right? So why is this a great thing? Because the Nike buyers, the young guys, the young athletes, right, they refuse to buy Nike sneakers based on that. So their retail market are much more mature in sustainability than in Malaysia, right? So, but eventually this will come. So the Malaysian companies should prepare for this eventuality, right? We should prepare that one fine day, the young buyers in Malaysia will demand sustainability. Not just because it's not happening now, it doesn't mean that it will not happen, right? But it will happen, right? So you need to actually engage with these young people. Now, I think some of the bigger companies, especially the MNCs, they might already encounter this issue where when they want to hire outstanding talent, that talent will ask how sustainable is that company that they are going to join. Right. So to attract good talent, the company has to exhibit sustainability, not just comply, but actually exhibit, carry out very good sustainability credentials.
It's part of the employer's branding, right?
Yeah. So sustainability now is part of your branding. Okay. Whether you like it or not, it is your branding. If you do not have sustainability, you lose your branding. Right. But one more thing is, like I said earlier, right? When you do your sustainability, there is one part where we call it a material assessment, where the management, especially the board, we have to sit down and look at the entire process and see where they might have a weak spot. A lot of companies don't do this because they are so caught up in the business, right? In fact, a lot of companies tell me, "Hey, we don't need to do this. We know what is wrong." But the problem is they are caught up doing the same thing every day, that they may not notice that there is a problem in some other matters because they only see what they want to see in front. Right. So when you want to do compliance in sustainability reporting, it is not just a matter of doing a report. Go through the Bursa, ask, do you provide anti-corruption training to your employees? Employees, is a yes. It's not just that. You really, for a serious one, you really have to sit down. Not just the sustainability team, which unfortunately happens quite often, but bring in the senior management and especially the board. Why the board? Because when you do sustainability initiatives, you always need money. Okay, and if the board is not on board, you will not get the money. Right, and they should be a board member who will become the champion of sustainability.